Hey guys, welcome back to the Vid-Bits. I'm Bray, and today we're going to be doing some more speedruns for DuckTales NES. Of course, we're going to be playing it on the Disney Afternoon Collection because my preferred input method is the Xbox One controller, just because of the fact that it has a D-pad that supports speedrunning this game in particular very well. So, without further ado, let's get right into this. I think to start things off, we should definitely see where we need to be. I always like to look at my time before we do a run, just to kind of see what we're trying to beat. As you can see, Dad's placed number 5th, and I'm placed number 6th under the Vid-Bits. So we're gonna go to watch. You can actually watch anybody's run, which is really cool. We're gonna watch my run, of course. Try to... oh, damn. Pretty standard stuff here. I don't think I do anything too out of the ordinary in this run. Just such a good beginner speedrun, in my opinion. If you're looking to start speedrunning older games, I would say that DuckTales for the NES is a great place to start. And if you're looking for tech, feel free to watch our videos. That'll give you a really good place to start as well when it comes to looking for what tricks you need to practice and stuff like that. But I actually don't think I'm going to need to watch this whole thing because we did watch it last time. I'm actually just going to kind of get things rolling. Still trying to kick the rust off. Last time we got a sub 8-minute run, which was not bad. Not bad at all. Just gotta smoothen some of the issues out. Don't mess that up. See, and that's why I always kind of start there. Once I get in the rhythm and stuff, I actually eventually shift and do the Amazon stage first. But I think it's just, it just takes time. I need to just play this pretty much once a day, every day, and do a speedrun or two. Even if I don't stream it, just to maintain the muscle memory and kind of build on what I was doing before. If that makes sense. That was a mess up. I was facing the wrong direction, so because I didn't turn around and face backwards and cue his spawn there, he spawned in a weird spot and then progressed on the screen further than he needs to be. He needs to despawn there, so then the second I double back and scroll the screen ever so slightly backwards, he spawns once again. Or you can do that. I've been trying to practice that. Aw, unfortunate. But just gotta kind of get the blood flowing, get a couple runs under my belt, and once I get into the swing of things, I think I'll be solid. Yeah, there's a pretty cool glitch that you can abuse quite regularly if you get the muscle memory down, where if you pogo and then unpogo, you can essentially just walk on enemies' heads. And you saw me abuse that to dance on that guy's head to both spawn the enemy and move forward, but I since then have not been able to get it quite as consistently, so I've shifted to doing Dad's strategy, which is just the more consistent trick. If you were to learn this run yourself, I would not recommend doing the thing that I did a couple runs ago, just because it may or may not be consistent for you. Ugh. I'm starting the pogo too late. the way that this trick works is essentially during your iframes or invincibility frames, where you're flashing, you're able to cue a pogo right in the corner there against that green thing. And for whatever reason, the way that they coded it in, it just, you doing that completely either displaces you up or down depending on how far forward you are, right? So if I'm too far forward, I'm going up. If I'm in the perfect sweet spot and not too far forward or far back, I will cue the pogo and shoot right through that seam, essentially. Because that's also, you have to realize that that's a item that they've spawned in, or not spawned in, but coded in to be destructible. So there's that cutscene where with Gizmo Duck, where he, sorry, I'm just focusing, where he breaks this, or otherwise gets rid of it. And that's essentially what you're skipping. You're skipping having to get all of the pieces to that suit, which it just saves so much time, man. Like, it's minutes, probably. Even if you were to do it as fast as possible, it's such a waste of time to have to go up right here and go get all those parts. Instead, it's literally a side-scrolling stage from left to right that ends with a boss fight. Just changing the pace of everything. I'm just gonna do this because I need the practice still. Yeah, and if you're fast enough, you get 2 opportunities. I just figured instead of doing the rewind thing where I practice that way, I figured I would just practice it the natural way. Because honestly, from start to restart, it doesn't take that much time for this particular run. Manny! Dropping waves in chat. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. That was a good one. There we go. Good recovery. I remember the first time that I watched someone else's speedrun on the leaderboard, and saw that those blocks were missing. I kind of thought they were cheating or something. I had never seen that, so it was just such a peculiar instance that I didn't know you could go so fast that certain blocks don't even spawn in. And that's what it is you're loading it in, and you're going in such a manner where they don't even expect you to be here, and stuff isn't even properly loaded in, which is kind of crazy. Ah, oh, got caught there. I was trying to pogo and it just didn't happen for some reason. Gonna keep going with it. Mistakes have been made, but all it takes is the right statistical laydown to save time in other places. Like, I was 2 seconds off there for reference, but like I said, totally need the practice, and if this is just the warm-up run that I need, then that's great. Sometimes you can avoid a decent amount of slowdown there. Then about 2 minutes here isn't too unheard of in my personal pace. Come on. Not too shabby. Saved some time there by making that very very smooth. Hello, well. Hell yeah. Good to hear it. Transylvania. Yeah, the thing I just did there, not too much of a crazy trick, but just a little skip you can do. You can jump right over Webigail's head, not spawning or starting the dialogue with her at all, so it just kind of saves a good amount of time there. That was a totally solid final final fight, in my opinion. I mean, I had been doing super bad there. I mean, considering I had a very subpar run, the fact that I still was able to get it that quick, not too bad. I've obviously retained a little bit of the memory from practicing yesterday. It was so hard. I mean, I was trying to get back into the swing of things, looking at certain spots on the screen and everything, but I think we're back. I just need to do more practice in the beginning. Guys, we just missed this account's personal best by a minute and 60, or no, 1 second and 60 milliseconds. I think that's this account's personal best. That means this particular run needed to improve by like 10 seconds overall to beat, because mine is 740 and some change. So I needed to improve by about 10 seconds. So if I wouldn't have made a couple mistakes like Magica, for example, I think that might have been, yeah. So let's look at, for example, let's look at my run. What is it? 740. See, if I would have, okay, there are a couple things. I would have saved 2 to 3 seconds if I would have done the clip in the first stage first try. I would have definitely saved a couple seconds if I would have had a better Magica lay. So those things combined possibly were the difference between beating my best run. You know, I just I had to think about it a little bit. I was being very silent through the last run just because I saw in a couple spots that I was ahead of pace. But unfortunately, I made a few errors here and there, just small stutters that kind of changed it a bit, but not too worried. I need to remember that I can go and get hit by him a little sooner. I think that's what it is because I have to wait a second, right? I have to wait a second to go down there. So if I have to wait a second, why not get hit by the enemy just a second sooner? So then when in my brain I'm trying to do the trick, I'll be where I need to be. You know what I mean? Like, I think that kind of... I just had to think about that a little bit, because I remember after doing this so many times that there was a period of time where I was doing that, where I was going like here, getting hit, and then going right down. Like that's where I need to be. I just needed to kind of give myself a little reference. So I think that I was being just a little slow, or I needed to be a little bit more patient with when I'm trying to do the trick. So when I'm being little, when I'm doing it properly and I mess up a tad, I feel like it actually makes it so I get in there, if that makes sense. Like, because I've then lagged a second. So let's try this again. Get hit, go straight down. That was close. Anytime you bounce straight up, you're close. If you're bouncing straight up, you're not far off the mark. If you're doing nothing and just either doing a plain jump or a plain pogo, that means you're off the mark. So that at least lets me know that my timing is just that little bit closer. Maybe I need to go and get hit by him a second earlier. Or maybe not even a full second, like could be a half second. Oh, that was unfortunate. You know, but I feel like we're finally getting there. We're finally adding it all up in our head, and I feel like we'll have a good run. That was but if you think about it, right? A 748 knocks that 750 that I put up yesterday out of the water. It was like a 755. You know what I mean? So that's just between sleeping. That was sleeping on it. That shows the improvement after 1 day being back. Just for reference, you know. So even if whether it be 7 months, 5 months, you know what I mean, you can knock that rust off when it comes to anything. Whether that be a speed run, playing an instrument, riding a bike. I mean, riding a bike is obvious. Like, that's why people, you know, relate things to like riding a bike. But like getting exercise, I guess, is a better example. Like that thing that maybe it's been hard to do or get back into, that you've been waiting to get back into, maybe use this as your sign to finally pursue that interest that you've just been lagging on. I know so many times that I just kept pushing things off, and there are things currently that I'm pushing off. Like, I would love to continue learning keyboard. I was in the middle of learning keyboard, and then I learned to drive, and it was I was like, well, driving is a little bit more of an important skill for me to learn, so I should put more attention and focus into practicing maneuverability and stuff for driving. Maybe the keyboard could come another time. And now that enough time has passed, it's like, well, why am I not doing that now? What's my excuse at this current moment to not pick that up, you know? And I really, there are so many compositions that I love that are on piano or keyboard, can be played on a keyboard. So it's like, why have I just pushed this off so much? It's something that I feel like the muscle memory makes pressing keys, which are essentially just big old buttons, is way more natural to me personally than pulling, you know, plucking strings on a guitar or a string instrument, or drumming or doing percussion. So it's like, to me, that seems like the most natural instrument to just get into, especially considering I'm a big fan of classical music and stuff like that. So I feel like I just need to push myself out of my comfort zone, set aside some time every day, and just get back into it. Start practicing again. Good. Good stuff. That right there is what we like to see, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that was a lucky hit. Would have been a little bit quicker. Would have been like a second or so quicker if I wouldn't have had that brain fart right there, but not too shabby. Nothing to scoff at. You know, beating the first mission at a minute or less is just, that's something within itself. That's a long mission, or stage rather. Like that should have taken way longer if done properly. But I just like to show off why this is such an accessible speedrun, and you know how someone who may be new to this entirely, new to speedrunning that is, could get into a game like this. Just because, you know, I'd say it's pretty simple. It's not the tricks and stuff, the sequence breaking, none of it's super crazy when it comes to difficulty. Like nothing anywhere. No, it's because I started walking. That's my bad. Me being stupid. I need to remember I can't walk there. But nothing even nearly as difficult as some of the tricks that I do in Mario 64. Like, I feel like, you can look, for example, how long I typically stream or how many attempts I do of each game respectively, and you can tell how much it weighs on me, I guess mostly mentally, but also it exhausts me physically just doing it. You know, stuff like the backwards long jump, the MIPS clip, that kind of stuff just puts so much stress on me for some reason. That was weird. I clipped down and then went back up. Not too bad. Wasn't the worst placement there. Oh, we're doing this. We're doing this then. I'm just gonna go with it. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. I almost messed that up for some reason. Excuse me. My bad. Oh, dude, I missed the jump, dude. What the fuck? What the fuck? Dude, I Think You Should Leave is just one of my new favorite shows. I can't believe it's taken me this long to get to actually watch it. Like, I've seen clips and stuff online, but it took me until like a couple weeks ago to actually start watching it, and we finished it already. It's just has to be some of my favorite sketch comedy, like, in recent time. I hate when sketch comedy is obvious that it's sketch comedy, if that makes sense. Like it's really, like, I don't know, like SNL and shit. I feel like SNL is, I'm so selective with, like, what of that I actually find funny, and it's only certain people from the cast. And Tim Robinson, like, the main guy from I Think You Should Leave, was on SNL. But those seasons, I guarantee you, he's probably the funniest fucking person on that show. I guarantee it. I'd be willing to bet that his sketches are some of the best. I don't know, he has such a good take on, like, a joke that doesn't land, per se, or, like, bits that don't necessarily resolve themselves. So, or, like, it's just sometimes just so nonsensical, but it's the delivery, it's the comedic timing, it's the physical comedy part of it, like the way that characters move and act and stuff in the show, and I feel like it's one of those things that just draws me to it more and more so, just because I like that kind of offbeat comedic style, something that takes you for a whirl while you're watching it. I'm also a big fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is very similar in certain ways. The nuance is kind of there in certain elements between both shows, and I don't know, just masterclass of comedy in my opinion. And the fact that, you know, It's Always Sunny came out in 2005, the year I was born, and it's still going, and it still continues to season over season to be one of the funniest shows in my opinion, at least for me. But don't get me wrong, there are episodes I just outright skip and seasons that are not as funny as others, but for the soul of the show is never left really, and I feel like the characters just, they almost exist in a vacuum, if that makes sense. Like, what's going on to them is like, whatever plot they're deriving they do not give a fuck. Whoever is around, whether they're listening to whatever they're saying, they'll be talking full volume in situations where that's just, socially inappropriate or whatever. But like, the fact that they just are in such a bubble in whatever is going on with them, like, they'll be in the middle of talking to someone and they'll be like, I'm done with you. Like, they're like, they don't even want to continue the conversation to its end. They're just like, I'm done. I'm on to the next part of my plot. And like, I don't know, to an extent, as someone with ADHD, I find that kind of relatable, but not when it comes to the things that their minds jump to and the plans that they have for their day. Considering, for me it's more so just jumping from thought to thought, and wanting to do one activity and then immediately having the urge to switch activities regardless of if I'm in the middle of it. Like, that's why unfortunately, as much as I like board games, you won't really catch me playing a whole lot of board games unless I really like the people I'm around, or I actually just genuinely like the board game we're playing. Because I don't know, I find getting stuck in that long, extended social situation where you don't know what you're doing and other people probably do. I don't know, learning a board game is hell. Like, honestly, if there is a personal hell for me, it would be learning a super complex board game with someone who's really bad at describing how to play it, and then, like, you just do that for eternity, and I'm done. I mean, I've cracked. I'm a puddle. I'm a shell of my former self, because I don't know, board games, like, they can be either so fun and such a bonding experience between friends or family or whatever, or it can just be so fucking boring, like, just like one of the worst experiences you've ever had. Like, and why is it no in between? Like, it's either such a great time, or unless it's cards. I feel like cards can be like, oh, okay, I'll play a couple games and it's whatever. But like, I feel like most board games are just like, Lord have mercy, this is boring as fuck. And I'm trying to be nice to whoever picked this stupid ass game. Like, I'm only playing to appease their ego. And don't get me wrong, there are some newer board games that I've seen that just take things to a different level and aren't super difficult to learn on for beginners. But like, I don't know, I think one of the worst gifts you can get someone is a board game. I remember getting many board games as a kid, and like, I wasn't an only child, but it almost felt like it, because my sister never wanted anything to do with whatever I was doing, so, let alone playing a board game with me alone, and you would never catch her playing board games with the family, so, it's one of those things that, like, I did not have, my friends weren't into board games either, so I had, like, no opportunities to get into, new board games and shit. And I remember the closest thing to a board game that I guess I could say that I enjoyed was playing D&D for, after school and stuff with friends for a year. We did that for 1 year, and then everyone lost interest, and we didn't even, like, go the whole time, or, like, to all the meets and stuff. Like, my friends just, their interest waned so quickly. Like, they were interested for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then they like either kind of slogged through the meet, or they just straight up didn't show up the next time. And then a lot of times we wouldn't have enough people to even like continue the campaign we were working on. So, then we ended up just doing one-shots, which is cool and all, but like, I don't know, it's not like quite the point when the whole idea is you're building a character for a journey you're going on, or at least that's the selling point. I don't know. With the wrong group of people, D&D will be a boring fucking slog fest. Especially if they aren't creative and can't come up with fun ideas, or things that really make sense within the context of the situation or whatever. Like, my friends just continuously insisted on throwing each other at enemies. Oh shit, that was a good time up until that point. Like, they would throw each other at like, one of them was a giant barbarian, and he would, like, for whatever reason, my buddy loved picking up other teammates and hurling them at the enemies, and for whatever reason he had immaculate stat checks when we played, so he would just kill the enemy upon impact and do a pretty minimal amount of damage to my teammate, just because of the way that my DM was pretty generous, I'd say, with what he allowed to happen in his world. But at the same time, it's just like, it was kind of egregious after a while. I was like, dude, come on. It was funny the first time. I thought it was crazy and inventive the first time, but like the sixth time, I don't really give a fuck that you've decided to do this again. Like, it's like that person who keeps telling the same joke, and the joke wasn't funny the second time. It was kind of funny the first time, but it could have just ended there, and everyone would have been, you know, much happier. It's just like, I don't know. I would like to get a D&D campaign going sometime, maybe even with you guys, in the Discord or something, I don't know. But it's just not super high on my priority list, you know, like, I could not do that for a while and it really wouldn't affect me. But if I did do that, it would be cool if I did it with the right people, you know. I just don't know how much effort I would put into doing that. But if a bunch of people in the, you know, in the Discord were like, dude, I'd love to do a D&D campaign, I'd be like, well, maybe we'll figure something out. Fuck. Little misinput there. Ah, fuck, dude. That was close. That first one was very close. Not what we're looking for, though. And, like, as long as we can wrap up stage 1 around a minute, we're cool. That's where we need to be. If it's any slower than that, unfortunately, it might be a reset. Just because this is a stage that I didn't have problems with until I took a lot of time off, if that makes sense. Like, when I first practiced this trick, I practiced for about 3 hours straight, and then I went to bed and did it 3 hours the next day. After a while of doing it pretty much every day, but maybe a couple days off here and there, I was able to get the trick every single time first try, and I was able to do it actually quicker than I'm doing now by doing the more complicated strategy of, like, pretty much not stopping, where right there you jump straight between those guys and the guy just spawns. He spawns perfectly right where you need him, but you just have to do it in such a way, and you have to be at such a precise spot, so it doesn't always happen. Especially when I haven't trained and I'm out of practice. Here the trick is just try to stay slightly to the right of the rat, and pogo and unpogo as needed to hit the enemy. Just know that, you know, you can re-pogo in midair and you'll hit him, and even if he's flying above your head, he will still register that hit for some reason. It's very, very generous with what it lets you get away with in that aspect. Just a little bit of slowdown there. Nothing too major. Oh. Nothing crazy. Ooh. There we go. See, about a second off that time. Not quite as much of a difference as last time, where I feel like we were like 2 seconds off, maybe 2.5. Oh! I was not positioned correctly. I know I'm definitely capable of getting like a 735. There was a time that I was on pace if I did my calculations correctly, that it would have been a 7:35, which is actually faster than Dad's current time. But that had so many things fall into place for me. Getting this trick first try. It also required just super aggressive play on some of the bosses, skipping phases differently than I even do now, hitting them in weird spots, just kind of, doing things super aggressively, in the sense that I'm, kind of pushing the limits, like with the Aztec boss, or the Incan boss, just, hitting him as soon as possible every single time. With the Yeti, sneaking in a hit somewhere that I have yet to understand how to implement now. I still don't understand how I got an extra hit that one time. It's something that I'm trying to just, figure out the timing of now, but I don't want to ruin what I got, When it comes to stuff like this, like, you have to evolve your strategy as necessary, but not try to evolve it too much to the point where you can't execute it anymore. If sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was listening to people talk in the other room, and I totally lost my train of thought, but that's alright. Oh, dude, that fucked it all up. That brain fart fucked it all up. I lost my pace. I think I might need to put headphones on. Here we go. I don't even need to hear the game, I just... Okay, maybe I do need to hear the game. I just feel like I can't quite focus on the gameplay, unfortunately. I'm not trying to, like, I don't think you guys even pick up the conversation, so it's fine. Let me make sure we're still getting sound. Yeah, we're still getting sound. Maybe even turn it up just a hair. Okay, alright, here we go. Turn the sound down a bit on my controller. Shit. Misinput. And... Oh. Not bad. I recovered that. Unfortunately, it could have been a tad better. I'm gonna be honest. Could have been a little smoother, but still, not many complaints on my end. I was gonna say no complaints, and then I was like, maybe I'll switch it up, and then I confused myself mid-sentence. It's also, like, it's hard to sometimes give commentary and, like, keep moving, and, like, there would be times where I'm thinking about a thought, and I'm like, oh, now I've stopped forward momentum. Yep, right where I need to be pace-wise. Oh! I almost missed that, chat. Almost missed that. Would have been mad unfortunate. Quite a bit of slowdown there for some reason, but... And then should be running under this at about... Yep, 2 minutes at that. It's about where pace is. Oh, one more hit and I'm dead. Okay, be careful. Not too shabby. You just have to be careful counting your hits, because in easy mode, what most people speedrun this game on, you get 2 hits per dot, and sometimes if you forget where you're at, you'll think you have 2 hits on that last one, and you do not. Oof. Come on, good RNG. Oh my gosh, I took so many hits there. Like an insane amount of hits. Oh, I died! Fuck! That was such a good one too, yo. That was such a clean run. Like, minimal mistakes and stuff. Fuck. It's because I took one too many hits on the way. It's unfortunate. Oh, shit. Got confused there for a second. Not a bad laydown here, chat. Not a bad laydown. Ooh! 47-second cheese. It's been a while. I think we only had one of those yesterday. Fuck. I thought I had a second to take a sip of water and I did not. Oh, now my momentum. Like like that second I took to sip water was the second I gained. Like, unfortunate. Yeah, actually, yeah, I lost all of the additional time there, chat. Unfortunate. Not off pace, but not ahead anymore. Why did I fucking do that? Why? Why have I been doing that? I know fucking better than that. Like, I should not walk across that shit. It's just, ugh. There's no way they intend you to do that, because it just doesn't fucking work. You either are really supposed to jump over it or pogo over it, and I really cannot see jumping over it being much better. "25-second entry, wow. 46-second cheese, chat. Wow, Dre would be proud. I finally showed that I could do it. I don't think I had any runs yet on the channel where I actually did that. Like, I knew that I was capable of it. Oh, okay, whatever. Just tank the hit. Move on. Act like it didn't happen. Didn't slow me down too much. Yeah. Do a Dre wave. See if we can summon him. Yeah, that would make me 4 seconds ahead. Oh, God. Always getting in my own head. There's probably 2 seconds of it. Did part of the music just cut out there, or am I losing it? Does it normally do that? I don't think it does. That was weird. You see what I mean? That time I was next to him and I triggered a hit. The Pogo's just kind of crazy with the way that it behaves sometimes. Yeah, that was weird. I don't think that's supposed to happen. Like, the music just cut out for a second where there was just part of it. It wasn't both layers of music, if that makes sense. Like, if there's a foreground and a background in the music, only part of it was there. RNG gods, if you're listening, good Magica? Question mark. Aw, no, stinky bad. Just gonna wait for her to land again. Aw, I thought I was dead. I thought I was dead, chat. I thought that I had already taken... See, that's the thing, is I lost track right there. I thought I had taken one more hit than I did. So I thought I was doomed. Yeah, probably my favorite stage in the game. I just think it has a jam. Like, the music is awesome. I think it's kind of cool that it sends you back to another stage to retrieve an item. And it's really quick to pick up, too. Yep, about 9 seconds ahead of pace, at least in my mind. My checkpoint on that chest for a long time was 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So, that's just what happened, the time that I happened to pick the key up every time, so... At least compared to what I remember used to be a mental checkpoint, 9 or so seconds ahead. Question for the chat. Is there anything that you've done so repeatedly that you were doing it in your sleep? Because there are a couple instances of this for me. When I learned to drive, I was driving, like, I was lucky enough to get my in-car one day after another. So, like, you know, I was doing it every day of the week for a whole 2 weeks. And so it got to the point where every night I was driving when I was sleeping. And it's like that with DuckTales too. At the peak of my speedruns and shit, I was speedrunning DuckTales both, like, while I was trying to sleep. I was doing it behind my eyelids. Like, I was watching myself play behind my eyelids, which was just crazy. I can't really. I mean, very few situations have I been that focused on something where that was the case. Driving is literally the only example that I can think of outside. Maybe riding a bike. I had many bike-related dreams when I first learned to ride a bike, so I'd say that is probably, or maybe, maybe a couple work-related dreams when it comes to more stressful things I've done at work. Like moving super heavy refrigerators upstairs, strapped between me and my coworker. I had dreams of dropping them down the stairs, a little bit. Just more so irrational fears than anything, I guess. I had a dream once that I beat my Mario 64 PB by multiple minutes, like 4 minutes or some shit. I mean, it was a while ago, and then I did have a big break, so maybe it was a premonition. Okay, that could have been bad. If I wouldn't have let go of the D-pad at the right time, I would have gone into that little portal there, which is a no-go. It's up to Chuck. Oh, I messed the timing up. Oh! He died? Okay. Oh, gonna miss it again. Just barely again. Only a couple mistakes. But that's another sub 8 minute. It's another sub 8 minute in the books. A little 757 action. Not quite where we need to be, but we're gonna go straight back into it. You know how it is. On the grind. Not leave until we at least beat my personal best on this account. Doesn't have to push the Vid-Bits account. Gotta get my my main Amaterasu on the board. Dropped in the pit. I was going so quick that when I pressed the button, I pressed it just so lightly. It didn't even register an actual click on it. I think this is the overrated pick out of the themes from this game. Everyone picks this song as the best theme from the game, and I think the other ones are just better, honestly. I just think that some of the other stages have cooler themes, like the mines, better theme. Fight me if you want, I guess. Like, I mean, I'm just a big fan of that stage's theme. The Himalayas, solid theme. Better than this one. This is a good one. It's cool. It's like, it is spacey. It does feel like you're in space with the, you know, the momentum of the music and stuff, but I wouldn't say that by any means it's like leaps and bounds better than other themes in this, you know, in this game. And it doesn't even come close to Mega Man music. Like, if you were to ask me what franchise has the best music on the NES, or what games have the best, what retro games have the best music, I might, you know, there's a chance I'll probably say Mega Man. Just because I feel like Mega Man 1 through 6 have such recognizable and iconic themes that to the point where, you know, I feel like I would listen to them as albums on their own. Me and Dad were talking about that the other day, how you could just probably sit down and listen to the soundtrack of a Mega Man game and it be a good album. Like, be a solid album on its own. And like, that's just because of how much effort the people who made those chip tunes, how much effort they put into making, you know, recognizable and just catchy beats on, you know, something that was not the most technologically advanced when it comes to its sound chip. So, you know, just bravo to all the people who worked around all the technical limitations at the time and still made fucking bangers. You know, I just, you gotta applaud those guys. They just put so much effort in, and it does not go unrecognized. Ah! Sorry. 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 That's just frustrating. The input happened and it just... I didn't fucking pogo the ground. Like, I pogoed, but it just didn't do what it was supposed to. It's unfortunate. That's stupid. Not supposed to happen. Just lost all my momentum. Sorry. Not normal. I mean, I can definitely do one on normal. It's gonna be more difficult. I just don't really see that as much of a priority. To me, I don't care what, like, when you're speedrunning, unless it says otherwise, like, you know, unless it's a game like Doom or Ultra Kill, I would say speedrun the game on the easiest difficulty possible, really. I just typically speedrun a game how most people do, if that makes sense. Like, most people speedrun this game on easy. Most people, at this point, I feel like, do 16 star on Mario 64. So, like, I want to do, like, I guess the more popular categories and stuff until, like, I get to the point where I'm looking for more niche stuff to kind of sink my teeth into, I guess. Come on. I just need to realize that I can't get, like, I can't take a super long chug of water. I need to just take a small sip. It killed me that one time. See, like, not off time-wise, really. Didn't make too big of a mistake. Just gotta correct quickly. There we go. Ah! It's fucking too far right. It was too far right. It was because I was gonna do it the other way that I do it, and then I didn't adjust enough. Fuck. Let me get like a 745 or something. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Ah! Got hit twice there for some reason. Damn you. Man, that one run, if I wouldn't have taken that sip of water, it would have beat my PB, probably. Which is fucked up to think about, I'm gonna be honest. Not my, I guess not my personal best, but this account's best, which would move it all the way onto the leaderboard. My personal best still being that time I set under the Vid-Bits, which I'm glad that it was, under the Vid-Bits. It's cool to have our name in the top 6 on a leaderboard like that. Come on, dude. You're killing me, man. You're just completely destroying my dreams. Ugh. Ah! That was good. That was such a good lineup. I would have been in there probably 2450 or something. Why? Why? Ugh. I lost a little bit of time getting hit there. Not gonna lie. I also didn't have the best laydown when it comes to RNG, but wasn't terrible. Definitely could have been worse. I walked across it for a second and it was about to be my downfall. Not bad. Come on, 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 come on. Alright, come on. Shit. Shit, 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 shit. What are you doing in here, Chief? Oh, you're just hanging out? Okay. Just making sure you weren't up to no good. Ugh! Why? Why? What the fuck? He never shows up there! Oh, and it's of course when I get a good laydown. This has happened to me 2 times now, man. Fuck you, Magica, you bitch. You only do this when I'm doing good. You only do it when I'm doing good. Literally, dude. Like, that shit only happens when I'm doing good. Like, I only do some monumental flop and then get a good one. That, oh, man. Or what I meant to say is that never happens when I'm doing good. That only happens when I'm playing like shit. It's recoverable. We still got this, chat. I'm locking in. Still a whole lot of time ahead. But okay, so back into the African mines. Okay, okay. Just gotta take my time. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Alright, okay. Just gotta keep the momentum, chat. Just gotta keep it going. One more, one more, one more. That's all it is. All it is. Why did that goat... The goat didn't show up at the right spot. He didn't show. Was I going too quick? Did we see that, chat? He didn't show up at all. He always shows up there. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. Alright. Just making sure I didn't get stuck in the ground. It would have wasted more time getting stuck in the ground than just waiting a second. Alright, so... It's all land clear. Gonna lock in. No distractions. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right. I knew I could at least beat my personal. I knew I could at least beat my time on my account. Unfortunately, I was still a little lacking when it comes to pushing the Vid-Bits score, I'll call it. But for my account score, though it was just by a fraction, we were able to push it. We were able to push it. Don't know if it's enough to put us on the leaderboard quite yet. Let's refresh. Yeah, 747.33. We moved it. What does that put me at? Did I move up? 748.26. Refresh. Aw, I was 30 milliseconds off from going from 12th to 11th place on my personal count. See, that's alright. I know that there are a lot of things that I can do to improve, and I am still knocking the rust off. But I will say, even if it is just by a fraction of a second, I am incredibly happy with that. Not to mention the fact that I was actually able to, at the same time, I was also able to do Duckula pretty consistently that last time. Don't get me wrong, I got a luckier laydown, but I mean the practice last time is definitely paying off. And I don't know. I think I might try one more. I think I will. I think I'll give this one a shot. If it ends up flopping, then you know maybe we'll call it there. Just wanna see kind of where I could be. You know, if I just do a little bit better. I mean, I feel like I'm in practice. I'm getting to the point where I'm feeling more confident in my practice. Just gotta keep it going, you know. Good recovery. Not bad. As long as the rat fight's fine. Okay. I can deal. I can deal with that for sure. Oh, come on, come on. I just gotta focus. I'm off by like a second, not too bad. Just gotta get a play clean. Made a couple mistakes last time. If I wouldn't have made those mistakes, who knows? Aw, dude, that was bad. I think I'm gonna go for one more. I'm just gonna try to get one more in the can. However long that takes me, that's gonna be that next one that we get that we finish is gonna be the last one. Come on. Okay. All right. It was recovered. Not too bad. Nice. Still got the hit. Very important. Getting that doorway hit off the rat guy. 49-second cheese. If you please. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Amazon. 1, 2, 3. Okay. This is the little break part. Just get to breathe for a second. Alright, about a second ahead this time. Instead of a second or so behind. That was a lot of slowdown. More than usual. More slowdown than usual right there. Oh! You robbed me. His ground pound disrupted my my shiz. He got my shiz all fucked up. Ah, fuck. I ate a sandwich at the gas station today and I have indigestion like a motherfucker. I just regret that. Aw, you bitch. Got a hit. Got one to count. It could have been worse, I guess. Just gotta get one more in the can, fellas. Regardless of how amazing, we just gotta get one more in the can. I killed him quicker than I should have right there. That was weird. Alright, we got one more stage. One more stage. Alright, okay. Boss fight time. I think right there is where you can possibly sneak the hit early. It's just such a small window that you would have to be so proactive about taking that, and if you get hit in the middle, you're screwed. So that's all stages clear. Saved a little bit of time there being quick. Not too bad, guys. Not too bad. Like, 753 is not bad. I feel like on our average run, every run we did came under 8 minutes. Oh, dude. We're getting close to the 2 hour mark, so we're just gonna push it. We're gonna push it to the 2 hour mark, and that's where we'll stay. I just feel like we're hitting a pretty good groove here. I'm feeling pretty confident about about how these runs are going. I'm just trying to take it one step at a time. Best rat we possibly could have had. Dude, shout out Risky Rats Pizza. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want at Risky Rats Pizza. Do whatever you want. At Risky's, you do whatever you want. What a catchy little jingle they got. I think I'd take my kids to Risky Rats Pizza if I had them. Instead, we get pizza from a guy named Chuck. Chuck E. Cheese. If that's even his real fucking name. I was always suspicious of him as a kid. God damn it! Fuck! Fuck you, Chuck E. Cheese. It's all because I started talking about Chuck E. Cheese. That was such a good start. What's going on, Jace? Welcome to stream. What? You bastard. I don't even know why I reset. That could have been fine still. Man, God, fuck. Why? Why me? Why now? Ah. Oh, that water's good. It's a friendly reminder from me to you. Be sure to hydrate. Don't want to be running with no water. This is not right. Yeah, I just can't. Maybe I should have called it quits at that last good run. Shit. Ugh, why didn't it fucking work? Oh. Oh. My timing was off. The timing had to have been off there, because typically I'm able to hit him regardless of if he's above my head or not. The pogo's just broken as hell in this game if you get your timing right. Nice. Oh, what? What the fuck happened? Alright, still solid. Could have been quicker, but good recovery nonetheless. Ah! Sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry. My bad. My bad. I'm just fucking, for some reason, messing up that weird thing. Something I normally have zero issues with. Just confusing the living hell out of myself in the process. Like, I'm just, because I've adjusted to doing it the other way, I'm just, sometimes I'm just trying to do it the way I used to do it, which is only just moderately faster. I made the best out of that laydown. I'm gonna be honest. That could have been worse. Like, what she did could have been worse, but that was like an average laydown, I feel like. That's actually the laydown I do believe that happens when you do the boss rush mode. I think she actually, she does exactly that. Oh shit. Lost a second or two having to double back. Probably just a second, if that. Alright. Alright. If you go so fast, he changes where he is. That's fucking crazy. Like that is a obvious variation in the pattern there. Like it's because of how much faster than usual I was going. Like it had to be. It's crazy, but it almost seems like time in other levels fucking progresses that also affects enemies in subsequent stages. I mean, that may sound crazy, but like there was nothing different that I really did in this stage, all textbook stuff. And for some reason, he spawned in a complete different spot. That's where that extra hit is. Didn't really save any time though, because I got stuck in the ground. But that's where it is. That's right after you dodge the snowballs, you can hit him again. Good to know. It's such a fun game. Through and through, such a fun one. Such a fun game to speedrun, too. Oh, I missed it. Oh, I can get it still. Yes! Oh, I must have made some sort of mistakes. I thought that was beating it for sure. But, that just puts yet another sub 8 in the books, solidifying the fact that it seems to me, I could be saying a little preemptively, but it seems like the rust has been knocked off, folks. After 2 days of practicing for about 2 hours per session, I think I finally got myself back to where my average run would be. There's obviously still some room to improve. I made a couple mistakes here and there, but that was not bad. 7 minutes and 50 seconds, not too shabby, nothing to scoff at. I feel like my final boss fight has definitely gotten smoother after I did that training for a bit the other day. It definitely set in. I feel like I just need to be a little bit more cautious in a couple areas that I'm currently kind of flying through, maybe being a little bit too crazy. But not too cautious. Still need to go as fast as possible. It's not like you can really slow down by any means. But I feel like I'm so grateful that we've been able to knock the rust off so quick because I think the last time before that 7 month break that I had tried to seriously sit down and do DuckTales runs, I was just struggling so hard. Like I couldn't even get a sub 8 minute time. I was getting like 8:10, which is pretty bad for me. That means I made quite a few mistakes along the way. Like I kind of have a little gauge in my head to tell where I need to be and where I am. And most of the time, I kill runs before they even hit 8:10. So that was me trying my very best. I obviously wasn't, I didn't have a good level of focus at the time, or maybe something was on my mind and it was keeping me from performing as best as possible. I'm not entirely sure, but I think ultimately as we improve, we'll be able to see the fruits of our labor. We'll be able to definitely see where we picked up time here and there. I could definitely feel that doing if I can do that Yeti laydown, if I can hit him immediately right after going under the snowballs, I can save a little bit of time there. If I wouldn't have had a kind of scuffed Inca fight, there's a chance I would have saved 3 seconds there because him doing a couple jumps over your head could be a big waste of time there for sure. Magica, she was the most average she could have been. If she would have been the best laydown, I would have beat a time there. I possibly would have beat my personal best. Sometimes that's the difference. Like my personal best time right now has a really lucky Magica fight in it. So until I can, just get in the groove, do run after run, and then just get that real good lucky one where I get the right laydown with that and also don't make any mistakes along the way, that's kind of what we're looking for. And I feel like this stream gave you guys a good grasp of where my experience really is and kind of what I may need to improve on in the future. So it's nice to be able to kind of look from a start to finish where we were yesterday even versus where we are today. So like I said earlier, if there's anything you're procrastinating on, any sort of skill you want to practice, an instrument you want to pick up perhaps, maybe a game you want to speed run, who knows? Just know that you can do that whenever. You just need to start today. And I need to listen to my own advice and start playing my keyboard. But I hope you guys have a good one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm very proud of us. Glad that we were able to kind of curb this corner and get out of the slump that we were in. But as always, it's been Brave from the Vid-Bits. Thank you guys so much for watching. As Dad always says, good gains, good goals, and good RNG. See you guys in the next one. Peace.